This is from Likkutei Sichos Chelek Tes Vav, the third Sicha of Parshas Vayera. People ask, what's the point of persuading a person to do a mitzvah? For example, on Mivtzoyim, persuading a person or pressuring a person to do a mitzvah, to put on tefillin, to daven, any given mitzvah. What influence is that having on the person, and what kind of an impact is it really having on society and on the world if chances are that the person is doing the mitzvah only to alleviate the pressure? In other words, the person wants to get you off of his back, or the person wants to finish the conversation, so they agree to do the mitzvah, to put on the tefillin. So if the person is doing it without any excitement and without any passion, with no real interest, rather the interest is only to get through it, then what's the value of such a mitzvah? The answer is that there is great value, and we learned even from Avraham Avinu, who hosted a hotel and invited people in and fed them, and then taught them to bench, to say thank you to Hashem after they ate. And those people who refused and declined and said, no, we don't believe in God, he told them, well, then it's going to cost you dearly, because we live in a desert and food here is not that easy to come by, and therefore the price for your meal is going to be very expensive unless you agree to say Birchas Hamazon, to say a thank you to Hashem for the food. And then people would agree and they would say thank you to Hashem for the food. And Hashem thanked Avram later and said that you spread my fame and you made me popular throughout the world's population. And if the reason why so many of the people were thanking Hashem for the food is because Avraham Avinu was giving them an offer that they couldn't refuse, because he was telling them that it was going to cost them dearly not to make the bracha, then you could ask the same thing. What's Hashem thanking him for? For compelling people to say a bracha without any feeling, without any kavanah? Obviously not. Obviously there is a value to a person doing a mitzvah, even if it's compelled, even if it seems like it's without any kind of feeling, there still is great value, and it can change the whole world. And that is because a person by nature wants to do a mitzvah, and if a person is objecting, a person is resisting to doing a mitzvah, then pressure, respectful and kind-hearted pressure can shake off the cobwebs that are blocking the person from the sensitivity to their own desire to do a mitzvah, and can inspire the person to recognize and to sense their own desire to do the mitzvah. So not only is the mitzvah really being done with all of their soul, whether they know it or not, but also a mitzvah brings another mitzvah in its train. So you never know when you convince a person to do a mitzvah, which mitzvah is going to be the result of that mitzvah. So there certainly is, inspired by Avraham Avinu and Sarah and their hotel and the way they ran it, there certainly is every reason to convince a person with good cheer, but with firmness, that there is a value to doing the mitzvah, even if they think they're not going to do it ever again. There's a value to doing the mitzvah even one time, even just so to quote unquote to do me a favor. The act of the mitzvah should not be underestimated, and the value of the mitzvah can change the person, it can change the person's life, and could change the whole world forever.